What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to episode 10 of the Tflip Show. Another episode here. I am joined by none other than my co-host, my trusty number one sidekick, Shane. How are we doing down there, buddy?
Thank you to my number one sidekick, because I'm the superhero here.
Gotcha.
But it's good to be back. We took a little hiatus.
We did.
A 1 week vacation, if you will. We're busy guys, Don't get on
Busy
my neck
individuals.
for it. So, but here we are, recording now, strictly for YouTube and Spotify and Apple.
Exactly.
No more Twitch, because we realized our self-worth.
Not even just that. We realized that we wanted to put the focus into you guys. Twitch is great and all, but we realized it's kind of taking us away from what
it's a little bit of a distraction.
It's a little bit of a distraction, so we realized, let's put all of our focus into the content, what we're talking about here, record and upload. Every Sunday night, by the way. Every single Sunday night, we'll be posting our content.
Perfect timing for you Monday morning commuters,
Exactly.
Throw that podcast on, sit in your traffic, and don't be miserable, because you're going to listen to mine and Tyler's incredibly soothing, beautiful voices.
I love it. You calm down the voice there a little bit to show it. Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Little ASMR or something like that. So we had so not only did we get a little hiatus from the show here, we actually just had a little 3-day weekend here for most. A little Memorial Day weekend. Shout out to all of our veterans who have served and been a part of our, what our country's all about. But did you do anything for the weekend?
I did.
you take advantage of anything?
And due to my lovely work schedule, I actually had a 4-day weekend.
Okay.
I get every other Friday off, so I
extra long.
Went up with my girlfriend's family up to Moon Rocks, which is a riding, off-roading place about 30 minutes north of Reno. And we went camping for, 4 days or whatever.
Right.
And a little update on the injury, too. Doctor said I could ride.
He's a full go.
I mean, no.
Oh.
He said I could cruise.
No.
He said I could cruise, take it easy. And I was with my, friends, so we went on some nice trail rides or whatever. I did get a little carried away, but I didn't get hurt. We're still good. But anyways, we went out there riding, and then the Moon Rocks area is an actual rock formation, and it's really popular for rock crawling and jeeping and
Why
all
do they
that
call
stuff.
it moon rocks? Are they actual moon-looking rocks?
I mean, it's
or?
in the middle of the desert,
Uh-huh.
and there's just this freaking rock thing, right? I don't know if it
Rock
necessarily looks like moon rocks, but it's smooth rock just in the middle of nowhere. It's
Gotcha.
just very outstanding.
When
Someone
I think
named
of
it
moon rock, I don't think smooth. I think of craters.
little holy,
and whatnot. Yeah, a little holy, like some Swiss cheese.
Nonetheless, someone named it that
Okay.
69 years ago, and it stuck. So, anyways,
Gotcha.
there's some gnarly, canyon runs for rock crawlers, and so Saturday night we went out there and to watch the crawlers. Probably we went out maybe 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
No bullshit. 3,000 people.
What?
Crazy, dude.
Crazy.
The dust was so bad, I almost wanted to wear a mask. There's just dust layers settling down in your lungs, and people everywhere, trucks everywhere. It's just the craziest Mad Max party ever. There's people. There's probably a couple hundred people on the rocks,
Right.
inches from the jeeps and the crawlers, going in between them, and they're everyone's focused on this line. The crawler's going up, struggling. It's cool to watch. And then there's just another crawler coming up the backside of the rocks. And then there's people trying not to get ran over, jumping off the rocks 20 feet into crevices, getting hurt. And meanwhile, all that's going on. Freaking Tammy and her boyfriend just got in a fight with freaking Pauline and Derek, right?
Geez.
Dude, literally fist fights everywhere. People were throwing mortars, fireworks into the crowd. Explosions and shit.
This sounds like something Jake would talk about back on episode 8 out in
dude,
Kentucky.
Dude, bananas. Bananas.
Yeah, I say the least.
Then they got DJs, and then to top it all off, all this chaos is going on. There's this dude, total, I don't even know. It's the most angelic rock and roll guy. He had this long black hair, down to his back. Just total rocker guy.
Sounds like badass.
Crawls to the top of the highest rock. He has a guitar and a big old sub speaker.
Yeah.
And then some other random person, not related to this guy in any way, had one of those big spotlights, pointed the light on him, and then he just started playing the national anthem above all this chaos.
Wait, so he played it in what sense? He had a guitar?
He had a guitar on the rocks in the middle of the desert. Just playing the national anthem.
What a certified
And everybody,
badass,
it was there was like 3,000 rednecks, and
Yeah.
it was just like, dude, it could make a real man tear up. It was beautiful.
That sounds like a hell of an
Yeah.
experience. So it sounds like you had a good holiday
It
weekend.
was wild, definitely some white trash fun. But yeah, I mean, they say like 3 people die that weekend every year.
What?
Mm-hmm. And dude, there was people literally getting ran over and shit by trucks. Like,
and you chose, out of all the things you could have done, you said, let me go to the place that potentially 3 or so people die every
yeah, no,
year.
I was definitely watching my back the entire weekend.
Yeah,
there's
I
just
would.
like drunk people in side-by-sides and Jeeps and stuff,
Yeah.
like just driving around.
Sounds very illegal if you had police there.
Oh,
you
there
know?
was sheriffs there patrolling. Plenty of people
They
got
didn't stop
arrested.
nothing,
And no, there's people getting arrested left and right.
Oh.
But when there's 3,000 people and there's 15 sheriffs, good luck.
I think the ratio's a little off there,
Mhm.
but
But anyways, it was a good weekend.
sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah.
Sounds like some good stories, some good laughs out
Mhm.
of it at least,
Yeah. How about you? What would you do, man?
I worked. I did a whole lot of
Ooh.
nothing. I worked, and I actually got a new job. I'm not sure if we talked about it much in previous episodes, but I started a job at a country club. Got a job over there. It's if it hasn't been mentioned before, I've become obsessed with golf to begin with here since the start of this quarantine. Played football. Stopped playing football in college. Needed another sport, something like that to
Something
kind of
to-
stimulate, want to get better at. And fell in love with golf. Got a part-time job with this country club that works with the schedule. And I had no idea, like, when you hear the word country club, it's bougie already. It's high class, high end.
Yeah, most people that have a country club membership, they're in the upper class at least to afford something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be. But you never really know until, like, either you work at one or you go to one as a guest. Because I hadn't, prior to getting the job, I'd never been to a country club, Not only some of the members have the names of the members who belong there, but just what goes on. So first, I'll start by saying the members. There are family members of the Disney family that belong there. There are direct family members of the Disney family, Walt Disney.
Okay. I heard
Disney.
there's some money in that corporation.
Just a couple bucks, not a whole lot. There's I think he's a owner, family member of the Zales Diamond Company. Zales Diamond, I think, or whatever it's called. Zales Diamond Company, I think that's what it is. Point is, he's a member there. And for all my football fans out there, I'm a diehard Niners fan. Jerry Rice, of all people,
The GOAT.
is a member there. The GOAT. And I want to talk about it a little bit. I had to take the opportunity myself to, he was at the driving range getting some practice in. I was like second day on the job. I was like, I can't not go over there. I was like, I can't be a fanboy, right? He's here to get away, right?
That's like one of those things like, God, I want to talk to him, but I don't want to be that like weird guy that's annoying. Like, oh my God, can I get you out of here?
Exactly. I didn't want to be that guy
like-
coming up like, let me get a picture of this and that,
But you also don't want to big league the guy,
Exactly.
Like, oh, you play football? What team
Yeah,
do you play?
yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. What Canadian team did you play for?
Yeah.
But exactly. So I was like, but I got to go over there. So one of my jobs is like at the driving range, I would refill the little buckets with balls in them.
Sure.
And I only do it when they're maybe half full or less. His bucket's maybe missing 8 balls.
This guy hit one ball and you're overflowing and his ball's pouring everywhere.
I needed an excuse to go over there. I was like, okay, I'm going. Before someone else does it, I have other coworkers like, I got to go over there. So I go over there, I dump it in, and I'm like, oh, hey, I won't say his name, but I was like, hey, how's it going? Just nice, as if he's any other member. He goes, I'm doing well. Thanks so much for asking. He's like so appreciative. I asked him just how he is.
He's a good guy. Mm-hmm.
Super good guy. And so I just asked him, how long he's been golfing for. And immediately goes, oh, longer than you've been alive. But, few times here and there. And so I kind of just chit-chatting with him. And to give you an idea of the type of dude he is, first of all, he's not as tall as I thought he was. Maybe that's, I don't mean that as an insult, but in the sense, you'd think he'd be so tall,
football players and like basketball players, you just think of both of as like just
Exactly.
units.
Exactly. And so not only was he close to my height, maybe he's a couple inches taller than me.
So
But
like 5'6".
okay, relax. I'm taller than you, buddy. All right, let's calm down, Nick Merckx looking ass, and we're gonna continue. Yeah, exactly. The neck. But anyways, what he was wearing, not his shirt, not his pants, not his shoes. He was wearing a hat, not just any hat. He's wearing a hat that just said GOAT. You gotta be a certified badass to wear a hat that just solely says "Go" on it. Like, you know how sick that is. Like, and it's not even cocky,
It's just
'cause
hard, bro.
It's hard. And all my football fans, and I know plenty of people argue who's the best receiver of all time. We won't even get into that. We're not necessarily a sports show. I could argue with it, but point is, long story short, super cool dude. I see him there almost every weekend. I work on the weekends. see him almost every weekend now. And
You on a first name basis with him yet?
I do have a name tag, so he did call me Tyler. He goes, "Oh, thanks, Tyler."
Did you just like, oh?
Yeah, a little bit, something like that, right? I'll pretend I wasn't wearing a name tag, as if he remembered. So
How'd you know?
how'd you know, right? So it's super cool. I'm loving the job. It's a lot of fun. It's good stuff.
Yeah, sounds good. I saw you were whipping the cart too, collecting all the balls.
That's a fun part of the job. I was looking forward to it the most is on the driving range, collecting the balls in the little tractor. You hear the stories like people say, "Oh yeah, they played target practice on you."
Yeah,
110% of the thing. The second I get in that thing, I fire it up. All of a sudden, I feel like I could see them setting their lasers on me.
Oh, I've only been in the range a few times, and I've managed to hit the cart a couple times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's funny was there's this kid, because I go all the way up pretty close to where they're hitting to go get all the balls out of short.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this younger guy. He's probably my age, maybe a little younger. But I saw him consistently aiming for me. And I didn't notice till a while later because you'd think you'd hear ring when it hits the cage.
Yeah.
It doesn't. The tractor's so loud, you
Yeah,
barely
it's kind of
hear
a ting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You barely noticed it. But I noticed he was aiming for me. He kept missing. So on my second lap coming up, I saw him and he went to hit and barely missed me. And I hit him with the John Cena because he missed. He cracked up. That is hilarious. And then just kept on going.
This guy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so much fun. It's such a fun job.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty just chilled job.
It's just super chill. It fits, especially me being loving golf. And so here's another thing I wanted to mention is, do you have any idea what it costs to be a member there? I want you to take a guess.
What is in the membership? Like, what do you get?
I could answer that question, but it's going to give bias to your answer.
Okay.
I want you.
I'm
I'll
going to assume, obviously, probably unlimited driving range, golf, maybe limited times with limited guests a month. I don't know. Like probably beverages and all that stuff. Maybe there's a hot tub and pool. A month for like an individual.
Yeah, one person.
I mean, where's this one located?
This is Menlo Park.
Menlo Park. All right,
Yeah.
so that automatically boosts it up.
Yes.
I'm gonna say $1,500 a month.
So you're very close to the monthly. So I'll just cut to the chase in the sense that, first of all, you have an initiation fee. You get a lifetime, as long as you pay this upfront lifetime initiation fee is $300,000 to sign on with the country club. 300.
I was close.
Well, no, but wait, there's more. Not only is it $300,000 just to sign on for a lifetime membership, it's also $1,400 a month on top of that monthly. But you're like, okay, yeah, that's a lot of money, but makes sense. Hang on. You have to pay for the golf cart. You have to pay for each round of golf. You have to pay for your food. You have to pay for your beverages. You would think it's like
What?
you would think it's all inclusive, but it's not. They still have to pay for all those things. I think the only things that are free or included are like there is a pool, there's a cabana club that's free,
Yeah.
there's a tennis court that's free.
What about, is the driving range free?
Driving range is free.
Yeah.
I put air quotes on all this.
Free. Well, $300,000 down payment.
Isn't that insane?
I literally bought a house and that was my down payment. Well,
Yeah.
Not that much, but like
I made it one of my goals in life, not my top priority goal in life, but is I want to be part of a country club. You work right, but not really. I've been working there for 1 full week now. I just hit the 1 full week marker, and seeing just the lifestyle these people live, it's just so.
But it's just bougie, like
comfortable.
It's just next
like
level.
This one guy, he's complaining about he went to Cypress, one of the nicest golf courses in California. I think it's California, and he's just talking horrendously bad on it. He goes, yeah, the greens were horrible and this and that and the people were terrible. And whether that's true or not, point in Cyprus, I think just yet alone to play is like an absurd amount of money for one round. I think it's like $300 if you want to play, $400 if you want to play 18 holes. So just the point is, though, the lifestyle they live.
Yeah, no,
blows me away.
People get that. Well, they start paying $300,000 and then $1,500 a month. You start to get in that mindset of like, well, I want the best.
Exactly. Oh yeah, sure.
So I mean,
totally do.
I guess if I pay $300,000 for anything, I would be pretty picky about what I get to. What comes with it.
I think what I'm mainly trying to get to is it's comfortable living.
Yeah.
You're living so comfortable if your money, that much absurd amount of money, is going to a country club per month and then upfront fee,
You're not really even, you're just paying for the status at that point. Because obviously nothing's included in it relatively.
No,
you're literally just paying for the status of like, oh, I go to a $300,000 front fee.
Yeah.
Like plus
Country club.
I mean, plus it's what is that? $30,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like that's freaking crazy.
Yeah. No, it's pretty bonkers just of what they're able to do with their money, and that doesn't even mention the parking lot.
I mean, that literally could buy a house, like a $700,000 house, like a 20% down payment, $300,000.
Yeah.
And then $1,500 a month. That's like not even covering the mortgage almost. Like you could pretty much buy a house with that.
Yeah.
Like a nice house in the Bay Area.
It's crazy, exactly, and that's not even to mention, again, I said it a little bit before is the parking lot, the cars that were in the parking lot,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and
kinda,
I have no idea what type of house they're living in. I can only imagine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane what money can do, and especially where we live here in Silicon Valley.
You talk about Jerry Rice. I've been to Joe Montana's house.
Yeah,
his
exactly.
teammate, and it's in Palo Alto, and I mean, just being in Palo Alto alone, I mean, they sell dirt lots for $5 million. Just a dirt lot, like a 10,000 square foot lot with nothing on it. $5 million.
Because what comes down to it is saying where you live.
Where you live, and it's also just like, because I work for the city of Palo Alto, and I've
really I couldn't tell with the shirt that you have on there. I almost couldn't tell if that was a costume or something.
And then before I worked for Greenways for Palo Alto,
right?
And I used to drive garbage trucks all around the city, and dude, it's like the most peaceful place ever. Like you're like. Just walking through these neighborhoods, it's just like quiet and nice, and there's all these nice houses. Every single car or every single house has a Tesla. Right.
Or
and
Range Rover or
and
an
all
Audi.
the houses are nice, but like it's cool too because like a lot of neighborhoods, like your neighborhood and my neighborhood, it's like not quite cookie cutter, but like there's like 4 house types, right?
Right.
Like your house is the same as 4 houses down, all the same house. Palo Alto, no 2 houses are the same. So like that's a very unique aspect. Like you see people have these money and they put in like their creativeness into like building a home, and it's cool. Yeah. Of course, the schools are like the best ever. Locations are awesome. Like, you know, all the good jobs are there. Like Apple's not too far away and stuff. But I mean, I don't see myself, if I'm gonna pay $5 million for a house, it's gonna have like 2,000 acres or whatever, and big old house, the 10,000 square foot garage and like all that stuff. And they're just getting a nice house, but it's 5,000 square feet.
Each his own.
4
Depends
bedroom.
what you want.
Yeah. I mean, these people just have the money and they just like the, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Just different lifestyles.
And I think what plays in even bigger part as far as the money and all the things that come with it in that area is the title. I kind of said it before. It's like, it's one thing to say, and there's nothing against it, you know. It's, oh, I live in San Jose. Mm-hmm. Someone goes, oh, okay, you live in San Jose, big city, whatever.
Yeah, but if
you say, I live in Menlo Park or I live in the Los Altos Hills, there's such a different, like,
immediately someone's like, oh, he got money.
Like, oh, exactly. Yeah. It carries so much just as far as the title of where you live. It doesn't say anything about your house, your car, your job, nothing. Yeah. But just the title of where you live.
Like Zuckerberg, right? He lives in Palo Alto. I've been to his house too.
I think almost all of them. I think anyone who is of title lives in that area.
Like Zuckerberg is a prime example of like just the title and like the location of that, because he wants his space very clearly. Because I've been to his house. He owns this house. He bought the 4 surrounding houses, so he has space, elbow room, and they're literally everything in these houses. Like he just bought as is. All the furniture's still in there, just covered in sheets and stuff, just unused, completely unused.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so like he wants that elbow room, but like he's not willing to like live in a place where he can buy a house on like, you know, a couple acres or whatever, and obviously pay someone to maintain it, right? And build his dream home 4 times as big for half the price.
Right.
But he's just like, I don't want to live in Palo Alto, so I'm just gonna buy 5 houses and spend, you know, $25 million. Right. And he has full-time security there too. Because I went when I had to deliver a cart, and I was delivering the cart up to the house, and I didn't even get like halfway up the driveway, and a security dude runs out of his car like threatening to like not shoot me, but like he's like, get back, you know, all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, dude. Because at the time I didn't know that was one of his houses until and then I put all the pieces together. Yeah. But it's just like, yeah, I just the bang for your buck in Palo Alto is definitely not there unless you have the money where you just don't care and you want to pay for that title.
I know. I wish people, because if some of our listeners don't know what Palo Alto or Los Altos Hills or Menlo Park look like.
Palo Alto is the nicest. I think it's the wealthiest city in the United States.
You know, and what's funny is I'm glad you just mentioned that. I heard from someone, I think Menlo Park is like out of the country, I think the 3rd or 4th wealthiest city in the nation.
Yeah, I mean,
Something
Menlo
like
Park,
that.
Palo
Menlo
Alto
Park.
are like kind of
Exactly,
two
yeah.
in the same.
Two of the same, two peas in the pod.
Yeah.
You know, people. I was talking to Emmy about this. Is that you would think like wealthy in cities, you think like Hollywood or Beverly Hills. I think that's Hollywood, but still places like that in L.A. I think of that, or New York.
Yeah,
But they're not even in there. I think we'll have to do our homework sometime on this and look it up. Wealthiest cities in the nation.
Well, because the thing about New York is like you could have like a $15 million penthouse at the top of that thing, or you could be renting out like a $800 like 400 square foot apartment.
Exactly.
With like no bath. Like I was watching this video, dude, literally just like a single room apartment with a little closet, no bathroom. It's a shared bathroom like a dorm, and it was like $1,500 a month.
It's insane. I mean, California ain't much better too. You hear about some crazy rent prices.
Bad, but it's like New York is like just so tight because it's like the actual city, and like it's just everything's crammed together. It's just stacked up on top of each other. The city goes up. At least California, like we got a little bit more elbow room. Yeah,
it's a little bit. Some areas that can't speak for the same.
Of course.
So let's shift gears. You mentioned that you've had a busted phone over there. It's a freak accident almost.
Yeah. Okay. Look, this phone I've had for like 3 years now.
Since Nom.
Which is like crazy for anybody to have an iPhone for 3 years. Like impressive.
Yeah.
For me, normally the longest my phones last is like 8 months because I'm just hard on my phone. I don't like take care of it. Right. I'm just rough throwing it and riding bikes and all this stuff, crashing, whatever. But I had this one for 3 years. The speaker went out about 14 months ago. And so that means
silent Snapchats, by the way. Whenever this guy sends me Snapchats,
it just kind of cracked like
it's a white noise fuzz. That's all it sounds like.
So no speaker phone.
Right.
So, if I could hear you but you can't hear me. So that's out, which I'm always working on something, so it was very nice to have that, but I dealt with that for literally over a year. Then the other speaker stops working great. So like Tyler can attest to this. When I'm on a phone with you, half of the time it's like breaking up. You can't hear me very well.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Yeah. So I've basically been talking to people on a Bluetooth speaker for like 6 months.
I didn't even know that's what you were doing to talk to people on the phone.
Yeah, because my car, my commuter car is a 2004 Prius. There's no Bluetooth in that. So I have just a JBL speaker.
You could get one of those adapters. Totally side note, but I might even have one for you.
I mean, you could try. I don't think I have a place for this one to have an adapter in, to be honest. All I have is a CD player.
Do you have a cigarette lighter?
Yes.
I got you. We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
We'll talk after the show.
W. Anyways, and by the way, the JBL, I use it so much, doesn't hold the charge anymore. I can get 2 songs out of it on a full battery.
Oh, jeez.
So it's going downhill. I'm waiting. Hopefully, my birthday's coming up in a couple weeks. I'm hoping, maybe my parents or my loving girlfriend. So I'm holding out on that. But anyways,
or faithful listeners.
Hey,
send
come
it to
on,
your
guys.
PO box or something.
Let's like the video and share.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, it started getting worse. The whole screen's cracked, back and because the glass is on the back too.
Correct.
Shattered. The camera is all blurry because the screen's cracked. This thing is just like, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I'm gonna wait until this one doesn't work. She's like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, it sounds like it already doesn't work.
The only aspect of the phone that works is the texting.
Right.
Anyways, so yesterday was the last straw for me.
In case all those things mounted are not enough.
I've been very patient with this thing.
Yes.
But yesterday, I was changing the oil on my car, and I had it in this pocket right here, and I was dumping the oil into a container, and I was leaning over, and it fell out of the pocket.
Went for a swim.
Fully submerged in the oil, and you can see, since it's cracked, that's all oil inside the screen.
Marks.
Yeah. It doesn't look too bad on camera. I don't know if it does or not, but you cannot see anything on the screen now. And it's if you're outside, it's already kind of hard to see your screen.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
It's a lost cause.
Yeah. So it's all oil under the screen. It's just like a dark spot in the middle. I'm like, all right, you know what? Fine. I give in.
Oh, because
I give in. So then today I went to the Verizon store, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this. Nobody likes going to the Verizon store, the Apple store, or whatever. Like, it just sucks.
Right.
Because you're there for like hours, it seems like, because there's always something that goes on. You forgot your password, or they can't have access to your account for whatever reason. Anyways, I go there today. I'm there for like an hour, and they even have, they have their phones in a safe, like a bank, and it's like, oh, it takes 10 minutes to unlock the phone. So I'm sitting there twiddling my fingers. Yeah. And And then eventually we finally come, and he's like getting the phone together, and he's like, I'm ready to like pay.
Yeah.
And
you
he's like,
get in and out.
he's like, oh shoot, this is an ordered phone for another customer. Like, so basically this phone already has someone's name on it.
Yeah.
And
reserved.
I'm like, okay. I was like, he's like, let me see. He's like, I think it was blue. He was stuck on the blue. I'm like, I don't really care what color it is. So if you're stoked on the blue, sure. He's like, let me go see if I have another color. He's gone you got to go open another safe
8
for
hours.
10 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. Me and this other random guy are just like, hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah.
Like, just awkward conversation. Come back. He's like, I don't have any phones for you.
What?
And I'm like,
I'm just going to a phone store to get a phone, and they have no
I was like
phones.
sick. So I've just been here for like an hour and 15 minutes
for
with nothing.
no reason.
But I ended up ordering a phone, and I guess it's going to come on Monday. So
are they mailing it? Do you have to go in the store?
I'm going into the store because I'm
Gotcha.
trading this one in for I'm getting like $300 out of it or something.
Yeah, there you go.
And I told him, I was like, for this, like the oil and everything, he's like, yeah, no problem. I'm like, all right, cool.
All right.
I think they reuse the metals.
Did
or
you experience them being salesmen in the sense that I know when I got this phone is like, because I went from an iPhone 6s to this is an 11, or whatever it is.
So the one
they
thing
just want to sell you.
He upsold me on, which I was kind of like, I didn't fight it. Like I knew what he was doing, and I was like, he's right, because I have like the 265 gigs of storage.
Oh wow.
And I only have 7 gigs left because I have 17,000 photos on my phone.
What do you need so many for?
I don't know. I should probably put them on iCloud. But
wait, hang on, pause. You have iCloud space? I ran out of iCloud space first week I got this phone.
I have nothing on my iCloud.
How's that even possible?
I have 17,000 pictures.
All this stuff confuses me though. Like some things about Apple, it just gets me so like iCloud. No, I know it's up there.
Yeah.
Don't understand how it works past that.
Yeah.
Don't know what's up
I was
there.
asking the guy. I was like, he's like, is it all in your iCloud? I'm like, no.
Question mark? Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, no, I don't think it is because it's like downloaded on my phone. And the series like, all right, well, he's like, by the time you get the new phone with the 265 gigs or 256, whatever it is, and you put in like your new whatever, he's like, you're already going to be over that 7 more gigs. And he's like, so you should get the 512. It's like double. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because the way I figure, I got 3 years out of this phone. Everybody uses their phone more than anything else.
Oh yeah,
I got no problem spending my money where I spend my time.
Sure.
So I get upsold another $150, whatever. Yeah. And it's gonna be nicer.
Sure.
I ended up getting the 12 with the 3 cameras and whatever, all the fancy stuff.
I got 3 cameras.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I let him upsell me on that, but then he started selling me because while I'm waiting, I'm looking around, dude. They had this water bottle, 17-ounce water bottle with it was the bottom part was a phone charger.
Huh?
Yeah, it'll charge. It's like 2 phone charges worth of battery.
How does that even work? So is it
it's like a battery thing on the bottom, and you can unscrew it and charge that separately. So I guess you could still have your water bottle. And then so you probably just got what I assume is a heavy ass water bottle empty.
Yeah,
lugging
already.
That around. I think it would be kind of cool for camping, maybe dry camping. But then again, they have those portable batteries, which.
Exactly. Well, I was gonna say the thought of mixing a water bottle and a battery cell right next to each other just sounds like something you
short circuit.
Yeah, something I don't know. Yeah, battery acid in the water.
He was like, "Oh, you want it? I'll give you a discount." And I was like, I didn't even ask what the price was. I was like, no, I don't need that.
They are darn near car salesmen over there.
Dude, Apple and all that. Dude, they're just so good at frying you. I mean, now.
Oh yeah.
He's like, oh, by the way, it's a new block. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, they changed because a while ago they changed to the lightning cord from the fat one, which in retrospect I guess was a good change.
Meaning you're talking about they went from the USB traditional block to USB.
Yeah, so now it's the block's different. So now to plug into the block, it's whatever it is.
I think it's called a USB-C if we're gonna be technical here, or it's Apple's own thing.
Yeah,
but they've changed it. Point is.
Yeah, but regardless, you don't actually need to buy that because. Your old phone cord works still.
Right, exactly.
And he almost sold me on that, but then I was talking to my dad, I was like, oh. Yeah. Good thing my phone didn't come till Monday because I would have bought that and however much that was.
It's just one of the things they do, and that they know what they're doing. Just small little business ideas. How can we change this where it's just a inconvenient necessity,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like people feel the need to get it even though they don't need it, but feel the need to get it and spend their money on, whether it's only a couple bucks. Well, hey, how many millions of people own an Apple phone across the world?
It's just like they have such an advantage too, because like nobody, like the majority of the average Joe like myself, I'm not technologically like advanced. Like when it comes to a computer, like a phone, whatever, I'm like, dude, just let me take some pictures. Let me call some people. Like, I don't want to do all this crazy stuff in the computer. And so, like, he has this ability to, like, oh, you need this because this is for that reason. And I'm like, sure, dude.
Well,
whatever.
talking about technologically, I think is the word. That's a struggle. Technologically.
There you go.
There we go. Advanced individuals. That's why there's IT. You know, that's what IT is all for. Silicon Valley, especially, we live in the heart of going into
the tech
tech industry. You know, and I think I'm a little bit more tech savvy, where I have an understanding, but nowhere near as much as some people. What people can do at IT, and I know for me personally, it's like Apple. You know, we're talking about Apple already, and Apple guys, IT guys at Apple are insane. Like, I had an issue on this laptop right here. And I was telling them all these problems, you know. It started with iMovie, and they said, whoa, no problem. You know, well, what's your login, whatever? Next thing I know, he took over my computer and looking at everything I'm looking at. See his own little special mouse coming up on my screen, clicking through. And next thing I know, like I thought it was going to be a complete headache, but 45 minutes. He had it fixed, no problem. I just had to do some update or another, you know.
And it's stress-free. Like, you know, with work, I had some computer problems too, and it's like, IT's literally a call away. I call them. I'm like, hey, man, like this, and this are issues. And he's like, oh, yeah, no problem. And I already spent like 20 minutes like dicking around with it, trying to figure it out.
Even me, like I go into YouTube. I'll do everything myself. I was like, how to, you know, or this is happening here. Go to forums and stuff, trying to read if I can get answers. And nothing.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. This guy gets paid to do it. I call him up. He takes over my screen. Dude, I just sit back. I'm like, dude, take as long as you need. I'm getting paid right now.
It's like a mechanic. It's like a car mechanic, right?
I sit back, and he's just like, it's all over the screen and all this stuff. And next thing you know, it's like fixed in like 15 minutes. And it's like, I mean, it's like God's work. It's the Lord's work.
You know what's I even forgot. I forgot until I started talking about it now. Is like, do you know in your Apple computers, there's like special settings? Like I think about the In-N-Out secret menu. There's special settings in your laptop where he literally told me because we were walking through it together. I felt like I was on like, I don't watch Lord of the Rings, but like the wizard was going to take me through this pathway. That point is,
I don't know if what Lord of the Rings does.
You don't know Lord of the Rings?
No, I know what Lord of the Rings is. I've seen the whole series. I don't remember wizards taking you through some pathways.
Isn't it like where there's like wizards and they're going to like take you? Okay, it's besides the point is, let's move on, is that he tells me as he goes, I'm going to take you into like these special settings where don't ever go into them by yourself. He goes, always have an Apple IT guy do this with you. He goes, it could permanently damage your computer if you try to do this thing on your own. I was flabbergasted. I was like, oh, where are we going? Are you taking me through the Hobbit hole or something?
Like FBI stuff.
Yeah, no, it was a little
CIA
freaky.
secret.
But it was totally like in this trippy part of my laptop, this little laptop here, and all I had to do was like permit him to get in, and then he did everything from there. But I was watching him do it. I had no idea, you know. I go to my system preferences all the time.
Shout out IT, man.
IT, they're wild, you know. I can never do what they do.
Beautiful souls.
There's a reason why, you know. You gotta be a little different.
Then again, you know, like if they need some help on their car or their motorcycle, whatever.
Right.
Hey Shane, can you help me out? Yeah, sure. Give me the wrench.
Hey, everyone's got a strength and weakness in something, right? No matter what it is, one way or the other, you know. For us, it's computers, maybe a little bit more weak in, but outside stronger, and vice versa. It's crazy. It's crazy. So to talk about more crazy things in the world. You know, we talk about IT and kind of Apple, and then to even shift gears about our world in general is COVID. We could talk on and on and on about it, about the whole world. Good old COVID, you know, living through history.
The vid.
Is that in at least the U.S., numbers are getting better.
They're dwindling, man.
They're dwindling. It's good. Cases are going down. Deaths are going down. Everything it's down is just,
no
matter where you stand on it, you know, it's good news. That's what we like to hear.
In fact, what is it? June 15th, I think, is like a big release day of like no more masks or something. Like their quote, like end of COVID, which obviously there's no light switch to turn COVID off.
No, there isn't. But you're totally correct. Specifically for us here in California is the thing. The mask mandate is lifted June 15th, where it's no longer required. It's totally personal preferences. left up to each person, and as well as businesses. I didn't know this, but businesses are actually, because almost all businesses are private, they have the choice of
the right.
refuse.
Well, I mean, it's always kind of been that way. Like mask aside, like every business has the right to refuse service.
Their own low rules and whatnot. Yeah.
So it's kind of just the same thing that carries over.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that necessarily. I get it. At the end of the day, if I need to go inside a certain McDonald's because I really want a quarter pounder with cheese and they need me to wear a mask, and I'll put on the mask. But I'll say this is I'm sick of them. I can't wait to take them off. And just it's just a hassle. It's one of those things. It's like, I forgot my mask. Or it's not fun.
I will say though, I was in Reno, which they didn't really have. Like the mask is kind of just a suggestion there now.
It's a whole state line difference right next to each other.
So I was there and like I was going to the store and like some people had masks on and some didn't. I just felt weird about it, so I just put my mask on. I was like, totally, I felt like 100%. So like I was doing something wrong. I was like, like I'm about to steal something, but I just didn't have my mask on. Like it's just so second nature. We've been doing this for over a year.
That's what I was gonna say. We've been doing this for a year straight. Where it's like you leave your car without your mask, you're a terrible person.
And I've never been. I'm not that I'm an anti-masker, but I've just kind of like, whatever. Like,
I think the only thing I can't stand about them, I was able to put up with it, because it's for a bigger purpose, whatever it may be, blah blah blah. Is I hated the idea of having to like work out in them. Or for me, I coached high school football. Last summer when we had to coach football, I was out there as a coach. I can't imagine the kids, more so the rules, the backward rules. The kids had to wear masks walking in the locker room, and as soon as they got on the football field, take them off. Well, I, as a coach, I was not allowed to take off my mask. I had to wear my mask the whole time. And for people who don't know kind of the coaching realm, no matter what sport, and especially in like football, there's different approaches. I'm very like just uppity. I'm yelling all the time, not out of anger, but I'm just loud. I'm running around.
I'm passionate.
I'm passionate. I'm all about it, And so I'm in there like with shirt on my face. It's like breathing in.
Yeah.
And the mask is going in my mouth, and I literally feel like I'm about to pass out. There are a couple times I'd walk away. I was like, I gotta take this off, and breathe for a second.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
And it gets uncomfortable. Like when it first started, I was working. I'm working 9-10 hours a day with a mask on.
Yeah.
Because I work in the city of Palo Alto, which is like,
You should be sponsored by City of Palo Alto.
I mean?
The amount of times you've said that
I'm just
in
like,
past
the
episodes.
city, we talk about it. It comes with that label. Like the city of Palo Alto is so higher up. It's like,
totally.
So like those people, a lot of them are like, like very pro mask, like green, like whatever,
Correct.
And so like for us, like we have to hold that image too.
Right.
And so I had to wear a mask. Like I'm working like 9 hours. And mind you, I'm working like outside. So like my mask gets all filled with dirt and like gross and
sweaty.
And by hour 1, it's already uncomfortable. Right. And we used to have to wear the mask like 24/7. Now it's like I have a mask with me in my pocket, and like if I'm working and like a bunch of people are walking by or whatever, I'll throw it on just kind of to be like decent.
What's nice is that the country club where I'm working is, in just 1 week, at first they said, come June 15th, it's optional if you want to wear it or not as an employee. They said, but for now you have to wear your mask. At first, the first day on the job, I was like, oh, keep my mask up. I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Between the members and all the other coworkers, it's borderline like non-existent.
Whatever.
It's chin diapers everywhere. Everyone just wears chin diapers.
Yeah, I mean that's what it becomes.
Just for comfortability, I just cut my nose out because at the end of the day, I'm running around. And so I gotta breathe, man. It's like these masks, not fun. So nonetheless,
it's a muzzle.
It's a muzzle. I know. That's what I'm saying. So what I want to get to is that so things are getting better in California and U.S. for a majority. What I want to talk about is kind of like, how do you think it's affected our society? This pandemic as a whole, from being locked down indoors, as how strict, no matter where you are, where you're from, and what the rules were. But I mean, it's pretty wild.
It's probably the single most impactful thing that's definitely happened in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Besides maybe some wars, like World War I, World War II. Like I mean, it's just like, and there's like those conspiracy theories of like, well, I mean, it was created in a lab supposedly, right? And like all this stuff.
There's
and it's
so
like,
many.
Is it like a full government thing? I definitely think that it was more controlled than it should have been, considering the numbers are like lower than the flu, and the flu is like more deadly. And all this stuff.
Well, to be clear, I think what you're trying to say is the death rate numbers were lower.
Yes.
Right. The infection rate was higher than the flu, but
exactly
the death rate was lower than the flu.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which is
Chances
even
of
more
dying.
so, 1 million to 2 million. Like, more people are getting it, less people are dying. Like, the flu is way worse, right?
Sure.
But it's just like, you're just so blown out of proportion. Like the fake news. Like, people just got so scared by it and whatever. And it's like, but then you start talking about that and people think you're like, racist and you're the bad guy and all this stuff. And
or I think what bothers me the most is that with this pandemic, and depending on your opinions or mask or no mask, it identified your political views.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like,
for example, if you're an anti-masker, you're a Republican.
Exactly. Like, I've seen people already saying like, oh, even when the mask laws are, I'm going to still wear my mask because I don't want people to think I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah, or not even Trump supporter, Republican. That's the main thing. Like, Republican. I know TikTok, I've heard that. It's like, why does that identify your political standpoint, I
don't want to get into politics, and this isn't really like getting into politics, but like, I'm just going to like keep this general as like, I can't stand people that don't like people because of their political views.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like, no, like, our political views don't exactly match up. No. I wouldn't say they're like complete polar opposites, but like, I don't match up perfectly with probably anybody I know, right? Even if someone's completely opposite, like total just opposite of what I am, I'm not going to like you any more or less, right?
Right.
We're just not going to have that conversation, or we can have those debates, right? But like, I'm going to hear your thoughts and I'm going to hear you're going to hear mine. Keep an open mind about it. But people are just like, shut people down and like, oh, you're Republican, you're racist. Or like oh, you're conservative, like, I don't know, like, there's just like all these crazy things. Like,
sure. And I think the main thing is that, I think your political standpoint shouldn't stand for, if you're racist or this or that, or I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is your actual beliefs. Now, if you're saying racist stuff and you happen to be Republican, that's one thing. It's not because you're a Republican you're racist.
Yeah.
You're racist because you're racist.
And now people are getting canceled for being Republicans. Like, I saw there's this TikTok lady. I forgot exactly what she did. She made like art or music or something, and she was really popular in like the liberal fan base. Like, she had a crazy fan base. Like, that was like 60% of her followers or something. Well, I saw on Twitter, I don't even know who this lady is, but they're they're just saying like, oh my gosh, I just found out like she's a Republican, and then everyone's like unfollowing her. Yeah. Like, dude, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we talked about, I think, on our hot take of the week a while ago with cancel culture on episode 6. That's the generation we're living in. Unfortunately, it's just a phase, And I think actually to reference another episode is episode 4 with Frank Lombardo. He talked about trends. They come and go. It's a full circle. They'll come on strong, then they'll disappear for a while, and you won't see them again. And they'll come back. And we were talking about, I think, clothing and whatnot at the time, but still, it relates to that in the same way. So all that stuff is very easily a rabbit hole, We could talk so much about, and how we got started. Even on that, we got torn away.
We got into that rabbit hole.
Exactly, we got into that rabbit hole. Only ankle deep. Point is though that we're talking about COVID, and you mentioned California, Nevada. I think that's a good thing to kind of relate. Is that so? Our governor of California, good old Gavin Newsom. He's in our state news. We've been hearing his name a lot. Not only is he looking to get kicked out of the office. There's a more politically correct word, but more or less
impeached.
Get kicked out. Impeached. Yeah, I think that's the word. I'm not sure. Point is, though, is that in his way of trying to convince others to get vaccinated, that's a big thing in California right now is go get vaccinated. You're doing the right thing if you do it, and to each his own on that. And I'm not going to talk about that.
We already we touched into that in a different podcast of like, whether you do it or not, and I'm not going to look at you any different. Like, it's your decision.
A couple episodes ago, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. But nonetheless, Gavin Newsom is, I guess, more or less doing his job in his political standpoints of trying to convince others to get vaccinated. And by doing this, I think, in my opinion, before I even read this quote from Twitter, from his official Twitter page, is that he went the complete wrong way of trying to go about this. He could have done so many ways to convince people and persuade them. But he decided, you know what?
Money talks.
Me and my PR team decided that let's post on Twitter, of all places, get all the young people on there, and tell them, hey, I'm doing a giveaway. Sounds like he's a content creator. I'll read the quote, Shane. For all of our people who haven't saw this already. Directly from his Twitter, it reads, California is launching a $116.5 million giveaway for vaccinated Californians. $15 million in cash prizes for up to 10 winners selected on June 15th, 2021. And then $50K for winners on June 4th and June 11th. And if you're already vaccinated, well, you're already entered. So stick around, and the next 2 million that get fully vaccinated can also get a $50 gift card. That's all from his Twitter. Direct quote. Absolutely flabbergasted me that the governor of California says, instead of just telling people why they're doing it and the reason, I want to do a giveaway. Money talks.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel. I do know how I feel about it. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, it probably works to an extent. I mean, money does talk. I think money's like the best persuasive thing ever, right? Like at this point, they've done enough begging and pleading to get people vaccinated. I don't think he was going to change any more minds. So I think the last ditch effort is the money. I also don't think that, I don't know how much of a difference is it going to make. I think it's just going to benefit the people already vaccinated.
Sure. You and I are entered.
Yeah,
we're entered to
maybe 100,000 more people are going to go get vaccinated now or what.
Right.
But like $116.5 million could go to a lot of different things to help the state of California.
Exactly.
I mean, just on the surface, no pun intended, our roads suck ass.
Our roads, but Shane,
or like the homeless people, like he's always complaining about. 116 million can go a long way to help homeless people.
It can go a long way, but here's
There's
something
so
to
many
even focus on is that he's talking about COVID, getting vaccinated, and all this money that if you're vaccinated, I'm going to reward you. I understand what his intentions were. I totally get it, and it makes sense on the surface. But here's the thing, is that within the state of California, so many businesses went under his lockdown. And there are so many links as to why he's getting kicked out and impeached or whatever. Because there's links to him having partial ownership of restaurants. When he was shutting down a bunch of restaurants, no coincidence, his restaurants stayed open for takeout and to-go orders. But then, all the mom and pop shops said, nope, you got locked down. I don't care if you follow our guidelines. Got locked down, shut down till we say. And everyone is so upset with Newsom because he's putting this money towards just random Californians. Instead, people are saying, why are you giving it to just random people? Put it towards, all the businesses that lost money.
You think about these businesses. Okay, there's 116.5 million.
Yeah.
If you could help
so many businesses.
If you gave $100,000 to 1,000 restaurants, you have it covered. Like $100,000 would probably save most restaurants, I'd assume. I don't know, right?
I don't truthfully know the number. Yeah,
but I mean, there's a lot of lives that got damaged due to COVID and some of his doings that he could repair instead of just helping people that are going to get a vaccine or not.
And is it even helping though? It's because as far as we know, it's chosen at random.
Yeah, that's another thing. Next thing you know, his cousin's gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. How do you know this isn't gonna go to Zuckerberg?
But I was saying, I don't really think it's gonna persuade that many people. Most people
already.
So either, it's so late into it now. Most people that are going to get it already got it,
right?
Or they're gonna get it. That's not gonna change people's mind because the anti-vaxxers are so hard headed. They're just now I really don't want to get vaxxed because he's trying to bribe me.
Exactly. And that's the main thing he pissed off both sides of the ball here. Mm-hmm. He pissed off the pro-vaccine people who are saying, go get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Because most of those people are saying dude, put this money towards businesses that went under, all the mom and pop shops that put their life in this, and you shut them down. And then all the people who are against the vaccines, they're saying he's just trying to bribe me. Well, money ain't going to do it.
It says right here, $15 million for 10 winners. You're going to affect 10 people's lives. Yeah. Where if you separated that money, you could literally affect thousands of people's lives helping their businesses, small businesses.
Yeah.
Even so, Dave Portnoy, Barstool Sports guy, he started his own program, and he's already helped, maybe it's in the tens or hundreds of restaurants or small businesses get back on their feet. Mm. Just selflessly. He has nothing to gain from it.
Right.
He just has the reach and the money to help, and so he decides to do that. Newsom has our own tax dollars, and he can't even spend other people's money to help other people.
Yeah. It's just overall frustrating, because again, I'll say it again, and I'm trying to think of this from the most neutral, unbiased perspective, is that he had the right intentions, but had the wrong answer, the wrong solution. Mm-hmm. I think that's how I want to word it, in the sense that yes, he was trying to give money back to Californians for doing quote the right thing, but in the wrong way, I think.
Yeah,
Again, I would have been happy, and I think so many others. Like, if you go look at this Twitter thread, because it's still posted, by the way, people. If you go look on, scroll down a little bit, but if you go look on Newsom's Twitter, people are ripping him down the comments.
I'm sure.
Ripping him.
I mean, to get to the Twitter post, it had gone through a whole team of people.
And that's why I wondered, who okayed this? Who
said,
said, like, yeah.
You and I, we didn't even talk about this before the show.
No, we did not.
We came up with the solution of helping restaurants and small businesses on the spot in 5 minutes.
Right.
They couldn't, a whole team of people, to the point where the governor of the most populated state can't come up with a good solution by the time he tweets this.
Right.
Like, who do we got in there, you know?
I know. And I could picture, like, the rebuttal, because that's what I always think about. If you have an opinion on something, think about what the rebuttal could be against your argument. And I think I was like, they could say, is like, oh, well, that's so hard. There's so many small businesses. How can you choose? The same way you probably are going to choose who gets the money.
Yeah.
Random. Pick a business. Get a pool of small businesses that make X amount of dollars cap per year, you know, and consider a lower amount.
It's like
and choose them.
It's like the money we got back, what do you call it? The
stimulus checks?
The stimulus. You apply for it, which these businesses already do apply for these things. So you
Right.
apply for it. You're automatically in. 500 businesses randomly get drawn.
Yeah.
And those ones get saved. I mean, like,
it's just overall, you know, again,
It's
another
frustrating.
rabbit hole. It's frustrating. There's so many things wrong with, in my opinion, the state of California. There's good and bad things I love about California and our governor, and that's why he's been put under a lot of review. So whether it's a good idea, bad idea, it's up to each individual. I think myself, and it seems like you too, are kind of with the common opinion is that what a shit show of an idea that went so south.
I think it's better than nothing, but could have been extremely way better.
Yeah, I want to talk to the PR team that, you know, worked with them. You think this was Trump posting about this, you know, this type of thing. The way Trump would just tweet stuff, it would seem like without aim, you know. It's the same idea with Newsom. It's like, who okayed this? Who said this was a good idea? So to go to kind of a lighter topic, a little interesting, doing a little homework, you know. It's a very, I guess for lack of a better word, cliche thing, but the Mandela Effect. You never know the effect of the Mandela Effect, as silly as that sounds, without realizing it. You know, you think, oh yeah, the Mandela Effect. You know, it's basically when you have the belief and impression on something that's been around for so long in your own life, but then it's a totally different interpretation. For lack of a better explanation, I'm sure you could get a deeper explanation. But I was doing some homework on it, and I was like, let me look into some examples of the Mandela Effect. You know, of what's in our society, and it's all some really interesting things I want to share with you and our listeners here. So I got a number of things for you here. Like I said, I was doing my homework about the Mandela Effect and examples of it. So to jump right into it, I have for you is Jif. Jif peanut butter. For whatever reason, I was like myself, and I'm sure many others, I thought it was Jiffy. I literally thought it was Jiffy peanut butter, but it's Jif. Do you recall any of this, like growing up?
I think it's always been Jif, but I think the confusion could have been Jiffy Lube.
So I thought you were gonna fill in the blanks for me, because what it said is that the competitor that's commonly confused with is Skippy peanut butter. People do Jiffy and Skippy.
See, I've been a Skippy guy my whole life.
Yeah, so you just said Jiffy Lube though. You were Jiffy Lube oil change.
That was the first thing that came in my line when I heard Jiffy. But I've always been a Skippy guy. Skippy smooth, no peanuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's a blue jar, right? Isn't it like a light blue?
Well, they have like blue
Skippy?
and orange.
Gotcha.
Like that.
Yeah.
But I
I
think blue's peanuts, orange is smooth.
Yeah, I was throwing like even that logo on the left there. I thought that Jiffy on the left looks normal to me.
Yeah,
but it's just Jif. Crazy.
Unless it's like Jif is the bottle and then Jiffy is like the website logo, you know, because it's bigger. Who knows?
It said that, you know, this is the just Jif, not Jiffy. So beyond me, I thought it was Jiffy, but it's just Jif. So moving forward, we have Looney Tunes. Good old-fashioned cartoon. Growing up, loved it. Watched a whole lot of Looney Tunes myself. But the spelling, you would assume it's Toons for Looney Tunes, right? Cartoons.
Yeah, cartoons, Looney Tunes.
No, Tunes. Looney Tunes. Makes no sense. It makes so much more sense. This Looney Tunes.
The Tunes even looks right. Like the Tunes
right?
looks a lot
on the
better.
left. Yeah, but it's again confirmed.
Bro, there's no
that
shot.
It's Tunes. I swear to you, I'm not lying to you. I'm not here to lie to you.
I even played the Looney Tunes video game, dude. I was running around. I was mobbing on my little rabbit, dude.
Little rabbit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was blown away when I saw that. You know, I watched a whole lot of Looney Tunes growing up on Boomerang, I think. And
Is that real, bro? That's fake.
Maybe we could leave it up to the TikTok guys, fact or cap, you know, cap or fact, whatever they are. You know, we'll have them, we'll at them, we'll make a little snippet.
We'll have them on the show.
Yeah, we'll have them on the show. Next one. I don't know if you watched this. I remember watching it here and there. I remember my sister watching it more so, but it's a Bears show, right? It's a cartoon show.
The Bernstein Bears?
Bernstein Bears, right?
Uh-huh.
Say it again.
Bernstein.
Little did we know it's Berenstain Bears. Berenstain. Not Bernstein. Bernstein. Yeah. The ending is BERENSTAIN. Whereas the way you say it and most say Stain or Steen, STEIN.
It's Bernstein. Show it on the screen.
I was one slide behind. My fault. I was still talking about it.
The Bernstein Bears.
Bernstein. Like if you were to like break it down, it's Bernstein. You know, you say it all together. It's Bernstein, right? Again, I'm just going off what I found, you know, and this is another thing, the Mandela Effect. I think it's just one of the things that get lost in translation. What's that?
The label's the same, right?
The art and everything is the same, but it's the spelling. It's just there's an A instead of an E in STAIN, not STEIN.
Bernstein. That's weird, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's weird.
It was Bernstein.
Yeah. So, and then here's the next one. What do you use when you're over at a party or even just at home and you drop a hot football in the bathroom and you want no one to smell it and you're going to cover it up? What do you use?
My mind went so far away from poop when you said hot football in the bathroom. I don't know what I was thinking, but like Febreze.
Febreze,
yeah,
precisely, right? How do you spell it?
FEBREEZ or whatever.
Wouldn't that make sense? Take away one E in Febreze for whatever reason. The one on the right, FEBREZE.
That's like Febreze, dude. That's French. That's not even the same thing.
You might as well put an accent on the top. It's like Febreze.
Dude, what?
That's what I'm saying. You think that it's one of those things that's common. Like even the one on the left there is Febreze. For people who could see what we're talking about, it's breeze. BREEZE. The correct spelling for breeze. You know, if you're talking about the breeze outside. Blown away. It's just another small, silly example of the Mandela
It makes you wonder, like, how much of this is Mandela Effect, or like if like anyone genuinely like rebranded throughout the years and like changed their spelling. You know?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. Because
either way, there's two pictures. Like someone either edited that, you know, to like here's like what you think it was, or it really was that at one point, and then they just changed it and didn't tell anybody.
Couldn't tell you.
World may never know.
The world may never know. Again, fact or cap. Let us know on TikTok. Next one. I don't know about you, but I like glizzies. I got no shame. I'm a glizzy gobbler.
You're a glizzy gobbler?
I'm
you
a glizzy
gobbling
gobbler.
that glizzy?
And for the people that don't know, glizzy gobbler means you like hot dogs. You like hot dogs. You know, no shame. I like a good hot dog. You know, so Oscar Mayer. Is that how you would say it?
Oscar Myers.
Oscar Mayer. I love Oscar Mayer hot dog.
Yeah.
Well, little do we know, the way it's spelled is Oscar Mayer. Like John Mayer. You think the one on the left, you know?
Like Mayor
Oscar
Newsom.
Yeah, Oscar Mayer. Like, what's up with that? Like, come on, Mayer.
Yeah.
No shot. It's Meyer. Oscar Mayer.
I'm starting to get pissed off.
Yeah,
now,
it's starting to be a little irritating. Right? Get your gears going. But why? Why? How come in our English language we go so long talking about the Oscar Mayer wiener truck? You know?
Yeah, it's Oscar Myers.
Now you're in your head. Now you're like, which one's right, which one's wrong? It sounds weird.
Oscar Mayer, dude.
Oscar Mayer. That's the way we, as a society, have said it for so long. But apparently, it's Oscar Mayer is the way it's spelled.
That's bogus, dude. That's fake
like
news.
John Mayer. Again, world may never know. Next one. Put these on your feet. Very popular shoe brand.
Shoes.
Skechers, right?
Okay. I had the light up bad boys when I was a kid.
I think we all did, right? You know, I think
I
had a Star Wars one.
Your little shoddy walks by, your little crush down the hall.
Stomp. Give him a stomp. Yeah.
What's up, girl?
Ka-chow. Right? I probably had Lightning McQueen ones for all I know.
Give it a little shine.
Let's talk about the spelling, Shane. It seems like we're talking about a lot of spelling and pronunciation. How do you spell it?
Sketchers.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Take away the T. We got Skechers with
No
Skechers. No T, not sketch.
By the way, this is not staged. Like, I'm genuinely thinking this is how it's spelled.
I put this together on my own.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't show Shane this before. Who comes up with these things? You know, if this is all true, who comes up with the spellings? They're like, let's take away one letter.
Because sometimes brands misspell something and it makes sense. But then other times they spell something right and it makes sense. This is one of those things where dude, no way.
That's what I'm saying. But I feel like, again, maybe they do. It's all part of the production. It's like, let's mess with them. Let's take away one letter where the pronunciation's damn near the same. Just take away one letter.
Yeah, the Skechers, the supposedly right one without the T, it looks like it reminds me of like Czechoslovakia.
The one on the right looks normal to me. Seriously, like as far as like looking at them, it looks normal. I would have thought the spelling is with a T. I just assume it's with a T. Skechers.
Yeah. The logo, I guess, looks kind of right without the T.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I would have, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, next one's really gonna mess with your head here. It's really gonna mess with your head. It kind of took me for a loop.
I doubt it, dude.
Took me for a loop, pun intended here. One of my favorite cereals growing up, Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Spell it.
FROOTLOOPS.
Ah, he knew about this one. Fruit Loops. They spelled fruit with 2 O's.
Yeah, 100%.
So did you know this one?
I knew this one, dude.
See,
I used to have Fruit Loop as a kid all the time. You got the O's and the Fruit Loops and the O's, you know. Toucan Sam, my dog up there, posted up.
Toucan Sam's a dog for sure, but I like looking the one on the right looks weird. Like it looks like they made an effort to Photoshop
to me, the one on the left looks really weird.
Who spelled why spell fruit like that?
But
like I know they use the Fruit Loops.
Look at the logo on the fruit spelled correctly. That looks off.
You're right, because they had to Photoshop it, because obviously that's the incorrect one. For the people who are just listening right now, we're looking at the spelling
this
of
is
Fruit
such
Loops.
a terrible
Yeah, well, no, I think we've been doing a good job here. But we're looking at a comparison of 2 boxes of Fruit Loops here.
Yeah.
The one on the left is the word spelled correctly, fruit, just simple F-R-U-I-T in traditional font spelling. Below it is loops, and the O's are Fruit Loops themselves, you know, little circles, colored circles. That's the way I thought, and some others thought that's the way it's always been. Well, apparently it's not. It's fruit with F-R-O-O-T for fruit, and the O's, again, are Fruit Loops themselves.
Yeah, I think this one is just like...
You've seen this one before, or you've heard about this.
No, I just know, because I had Fruit Loops growing up, and unless it was just engraved in my head that the O's from the Loops were cereal, I don't know. This one to me was second nature, that it was just fruit that way.
Fair enough. All right, well then here's the next one I got for you. This next one, now I'm not a big Pokemon guy, you know, never was. I know growing up, kids were crazy about it, you know,
me
still
neither.
are. I just was kind of like, yeah.
I remember in first grade, all the kids were trading cards and stuff.
Yeah.
I felt left out, so I was like, hey, Mom, can we go get Pokemon cards?
Me too.
I got a stack. Had zero idea what to do with it. I walked around school, and I was like, hey, look, I got a thick-ass stack of cards.
Yeah. I got a Squirtle. What do you got?
Yeah. And I remember we would have, like, card battles.
Yeah.
And they would, like, throw, like, some crazy shit at me. And I would throw, like, a freaking not crazy shit. And they'd be like, oh, I win. And then they'd take my card. And I'm like, hey.
Yeah, swooped.
I got swooped, bro. It was not meant for me. And
Yeah,
I watched a couple episodes on Cartoon Network or whatever it was.
I had the same thing growing up. I felt left out about the Pokemon, but I was too late by the time I was like interested, just because I want to fit in.
Yeah.
My thing I was make sure not to miss the train was Bakugan. Remember those little things?
Yeah.
The little balls that you roll in the magnets and get stuck.
Pokemon was like enough mainstream for me to like kind of understand.
See,
it.
I just felt left out. I was like, I'm not missing Bakugan. I got in there.
Like, I didn't understand Pokemon, and Bakugan is. Forget about it.
Oh yeah, well Bakugan, it lasted for a short time. I was like, this is stupid.
I remember the commercials of Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
Oh yeah, I watched it. Me and Nicholas growing up, lifetime buddy. Anyways, point is though, Pokemon, right? Mm-hmm. Picture Pikachu. You know which one that is? Probably the most famous Pokemon that almost everyone knows. Of. Exactly. You know what he or she looks like, right?
I know what Pikachu is. That's my dog.
Okay, this is gonna look weird for whatever reason. Without me being much of a Pokemon guy, I always thought Pikachu had black on the end of its tail. If you look at the photo on the left there, has black on the end of the tail, that just looks right. Apparently, that's not the case. And I'm not a Pokemon guy.
I watched enough cartoons to know that he had that black tip hitter.
He had the black tip on his tail, right? Apparently not. The one on the right there in the image is just a comparison of 2 Pikachus for our listeners, purely our listeners, is that one has black tip on its tail, one doesn't. And the one on the right where it doesn't have a black tip on it is right.
I guess it was just because he's got the black tips on the ears. Maybe it's just kind of like your brain just kind of loops it all in together.
Right, exactly. And that kind of is another thing about the Mandela Effect, about what it does to your head. You just assume things and kind of tie them in.
Yeah, because like a lot of this stuff is you haven't seen for a while, so you're just like kind of going off your rough memory.
Exactly, and that's perfect example of this. Okay, here's another one for you. This one was a little interesting, not too super crazy or like whoa, but more so. One of my I'm not a big chocolate candy bar guy. I'm not crazy about chocolate candy bars.
Yeah, I had a mean Kit Kat though.
I'm glad you brought that up. Picture the word Kit Kat on the wrapper.
Okay, I should get this one. I eat Kit Kats all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
I want you to spell it to the full extent.
KITKAT.
Yeah? Is that your final answer?
Kit Kat.
Is there any other grammar you want to add to it?
Oh, there's a dash in between.
I don't know. Is there?
Well, no, actually, there's not.
No.
There's no Kit.
Final answer.
Yeah, there's no dash.
You must be a Kit Kat avid because you are 110%.
Yes. I eat a lot of Kit Kats, bro. I don't like.
Clearly, because I love Kit Kats.
But the fact that I thought there was a dash in between, though, but I corrected myself.
I was trying to get in your head. I was trying to see if I could get you to sway one way or another.
Well, because Kit Kat's like one of those things where it's like it could be a hyphenated word.
It easily could have. And again, we're looking at a photo here of a comparison of the two. The one on the left has a dash in the middle that totally looks like it could and does belong. And the one on the right is the true.
The one on the right looks correct to me.
And they both look right. That's what messes with my head. And for whatever reason, I really thought there was a dash in the middle. So I thought that was super trippy seeing that.
And it almost works too, because like if you look on the right, the gap between the T and the K is like a perfect dash space.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of trippy. Okay, this next one. This has got to be one of my favorite dessert, sugar, candy, however you want to word it. I love me some good Oreos, man. I love Oreos.
Oreos are fire.
I
Oreos
love
are good.
Oreos and milk. Okay.
Matter of fact, before we continue, what goes best, dude? Vanilla ice cream, Oreos, and Kit Kats broken up on that.
Oh, I could go for that. Because I like cookies and cream ice cream.
Hey, that'll make a grown man cry.
Exactly. That it would. So here's this crazy one. Oreos, right? Not regular Oreos, but double stuffed Oreos. I want you to spell the double stuff on the wrapper.
I mean, I'm just going with, I don't really know. It's just
double. Sure, go for it.
Double's normal.
Yeah.
DOUBLE.
Uh-huh.
And then stuff is STUFF.
That's what you would think. But little do we know there's only one F in stuff, apparently.
Oh, see, that's not even where I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be like STOUGH.
So, and you know what we can do, Shane? You want to know what we could do here? We're able to fact check. We could go fact or cap here. I got a case of double stuff in the cabinet because I did not believe that when I saw it. I said there is no chance. Yeah. There is no chance.
Go grab it, bro.
There is one singular F, my friend.
Bro, what?
Let's go ahead and just one F. I'll eat an Oreo to that, huh?
Yeah, I'll take one, bro.
So nonetheless, we just fact checked. Sure enough, one F. Mouthful over there.
They still taste good.
Still taste great. One F, two Fs. Either way, I did not believe that when I saw that. It's one of those things you'd assume. Like, why one less F? Who does that?
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you think.
Okay, here's this next one. It's a small one, but I just found it interesting. When you picture the Mona Lisa, the famous Mona Lisa, is she smiling or not?
She's kind of got like a little on the edge. Like she's kind of like a smug look, like maybe a little bit of a smirk almost.
Right. So the thing with her is that there's so many conspiracy theories about the painting itself. Is there even an original Mona Lisa or not? Point is why I mention that is because people, for whatever reason, when they recall the Mona Lisa, is that she has more of a smile. And in this photo I'm showing right now, the one on the right is the correct one, quote unquote, where she is darn near straight face. There's not much of a smug smile at all, whereas the one on the left has that kind of smug smile. And it's interesting just because it makes you wonder about what is the true Mona Lisa. I feel like you can interpret it so many different ways. And I feel like this is not like a groundbreaking one because it's such a small difference between those two photos. But it makes you wonder about what people's beliefs and memory of picturing the Mona Lisa is, smiling or not.
Maybe I'm uncultured, but like who even cares? Like what? Like what is the Mona Lisa so special for? I mean, it's it's way better than I could ever paint, right?
Sure.
But like in the grand scheme of things, like not that impressive. Like decent, I guess. Mid.
Well, we can get a historian on the show maybe to talk about it.
Yeah,
and
it was a
history.
pawn shop. I got an expert.
There we go. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
You mind waiting around for a few minutes?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like. Don't get me wrong. Good drawing, painting, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
I just don't see it being good enough to be the single most famous painting in the world. The protected like Fort Knox.
Oh yeah. And people have tried stealing it countless times.
Yeah, I mean, maybe someone could explain to me. Maybe I'm being ignorant, but.
Let us know down in the comments, YouTube. Let us know.
That's my 2 cents.
So nonetheless, Mona Lisa, smiling, not smiling, the world may never know.
Yeah.
Last and final one. This one messed with my childhood, Shane. This one hit hard, man. Again, we're talking about Boomerang, what I watch on Boomerang. I think one of my favorite cartoons growing up next to Tom and Jerry was what I called the Flintstones. Flintstone vitamins, Flintstones cartoons.
Yeah,
I love the Flintstones.
Running their little cars around.
Exactly. So would you say you like the Flintstones as well? Did you grow up watching the Flintstones?
Not as much. I did watch it. My dad watched it a lot when he was a kid. And It's been around forever.
Oh, forever since now.
And there's the Flintstone house, and you're going towards San Francisco.
Exactly. Yeah. Not everyone knows about that, but over I think it's 280 on the side of 280. There's what looks like a Flintstone house for people that don't know.
There was actually a whole thing on that house that they threatened on demoing it, and they had some sign me to go save the house.
Well, the city had an outroar. Yeah, just everyone said it's a historical landmark.
Yeah, for sure.
So point is, what's the name of the show again? Say it one more time.
The Flintstones.
The Flintstones, right? Well, it makes sense, but just mess with my head. Add an extra T because it's Flintstones. Flintstones.
I mean,
which makes sense to Flint.
Flintstone. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
But it's messed up because if you try to tell me that without this being here and said, no, it's Flintstones.
Yeah, well, I guess that kind of just goes with like Americans being lazy when they pronounce their words. Sometimes they drop like my old dog. By the way, today was his birthday. Rest in peace, Hunter.
Oh, Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, Hunter.
Hunter all the time. Not
Hunter. It's not Hunter. It's Hunter.
Hunter.
Only Hunter when he was like in trouble. It's like, Hunter, come here.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like the T just kind of goes silent. So it's kind of like the same thing on this. Like
it makes sense in the sense how you could lose the T, how you could lose that letter.
Yeah.
But even again, we're looking at a picture of the logo here, of the famous Flintstones logo. The one on the left here without the extra T in there for Flint, where it just says Flintstone, looks correct. It messes with my head.
Yeah, just one of those things.
And it's in all my childhood growing up, I wouldn't have, again, if someone told me, no, it's Flintstone, the Chuck Hurd, I said, no, you're an idiot. That's what I would have told him.
Yeah, idiot.
Idiot. So that's all I had for the Mandela Effect, but that's just a handful of things, and I'm sure there's so much more that you could go into. It just kind of messes with you. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, it makes you think.
It definitely makes you think. So I think that about wraps up episode 10 here, Shane. I don't think there's a whole lot more I wanted to cover. I'm glad we got to do this. It's not often where we get to have just the you and I dynamics.
Yeah.
Just the two of us. I was hoping you knew after that part. I didn't know the words after that.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Nice. Nonetheless, though, all jokes aside, we can't thank you guys enough for taking the time to listen to our show. You guys take time out of your day to take a moment to hear what
we've been growing, so it's been working,
It's awesome.
Slowly but surely. Our last episode with Rachel hit really well, and it's cool to see the progress.
We'll keep going. So like we said, this will be from here on out recorded solely, no longer a live show. You could find it uploaded on all platforms, every single one that you can imagine. With all that being said, we thank you guys for being here.
It's been a temperate day.
Temperate day, the weather.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
See you guys next week on episode 11. Take care.
Bye.